Hello everybody, welcome to another one. Today I got another fantastic episode for you. Today I want to look at 3 indie games on the Nintendo Switch that are really good, really fantastic games, and I think everyone should have in their collection. So without further ado, sit back and let's check it out. The first game on my list, 1980X. Now this is a game about a coming-of-age teenager, unnamed kid, but we'll just call him Billy, or the Handheld Gamer, either one you want to call him. And basically the chapters are different video games in the arcade that he finds. So he goes to this arcade that's in an abandoned warehouse. He finds arcade games, and he is learning to what it is to become a teenager, kind of adjusting to it, trying to fit in and find out where he belongs. And he finds this abandoned warehouse and he finds arcade games. So in each arcade game you'll play like basically 2 levels, so it's basically 2 chapters of arcade games that were popular at the time. And then he finds his love for video gaming, and it's basically a story about that. So as you can see, the first game is a beat 'em up, so that was like Streets of Rage. There's the unnamed kid, we'll call him the Handheld Gamer or Billy. And he looking out at the city, and this is where he lives. Very reminiscent of the 1980s. Really love the artwork in this and the music. Everyone did a fantastic job. I believe this is a Swedish team if I'm correct. And this game was done by a company called High Bit. So fantastic game, as you can see. Love the graphics. Beautiful gameplay. Everything about this game just screams 80s, and I really love the way they designed everything. There is basically what arcades did look like back in the day in certain places. I went to some campgrounds and that's what it looked like. A bunch of people, teenagers, smoking and doing all kinds of crazy stuff, listening to music and having a good time. So the second one is a shooter, of course, because shooters and beat 'em ups were very popular back in the time. So this plays like either like Salamander and Gradius. And the good thing about these games, these arcade games, is they did a fantastic job of making a fun game of each arcade game. So they're not just like a great story and weak arcade games, but the arcade games themselves are a lot of fun. So a lot of work went into making this game great. Like I said, the beat 'em up was really fantastic. It was a good style beat 'em up, fun. And same thing with the shooter. So fantastic. Love the graphics, love the art direction they went with. The music is fantastic. I wish I could play it for you, but you know how copyright issues are and stuff. But you would love the music. It's very 80s inspired themed music. And like I said, fantastic game. Really love the art direction. And definitely I think everyone should download this game, especially if they love old arcade games back in the day, because it is a good love letter to this time period. And as you can see, just really love the artwork, the art direction they chose for it. Everything is just really fantastic. I could just look at it all day. And with the soundtrack, really great. And now racing games. Now this is reminiscent of Outrun. So they did a fantastic job, and definitely 80s screaming there. And number 2, Kays and the Wild Mask. Now I was told this game by my friend Chris. I didn't know nothing about it. And this game reminds me of 2 games. It reminds me of all things, Kid Chameleon, or the Wonder Boy series, which is also the Monster Boy series from Sega. So both Sega games that's what this reminds me of. Definitely a better, I would say a more polished, better playing game than Kid Chameleon. Definitely reminiscent of the Wonder Boy series, the Monster Boy, because definitely between both of those, it plays just like it. Plays like a 90s action platformer. Really good graphics, great storyline. Well, the storyline's really basic, but it's still good. It's basically looks like they were trying to take a magical ring from a fortress, and somehow one of them got sucked into it. and now the other rabbit is trying to free him by going through these levels. And really good action platformer, a lot of challenge involved. Some of the levels are very challenging, which is good. Plays really nice, the graphics are great, music's great. Really love the gameplay, and like I said, here's the Kid Chameleon, Wonder Boy, and the Dragon's Trap, or what that is. Monster Boy and the Dragon's Trap. It reminds me of that, where you transform with your masks. Also, Kid Chameleon did the same thing. And you get new gameplay elements, so this is really cool. But this is very polished, very well done. And the characters are really nice, the animations and everything. And I wasn't expecting the masks to actually transform into a flying creature, so that was pretty awesome. And as you can see, they did great elements of using the rabbit with all their different tricks, like holding on to vines using the ears as like hands. So that is very creative how they did that, and lots of cool mechanics they've added to the characters. And they, like I said, you can even do like this little helicopter fly for a second with the helicopter ears. So you basically kind of hover for a second or glide down slowly. So pretty cool, different elements, and as you can see, very cool animations and great transformation and creativity in using the masks. So I can't wait to see what else. I didn't get much farther after this because it's a very challenging game. Some of the levels I had to play like 15-20 times to get through them. So it's a very good challenge but fun game. Number 3, another game recommended by my friend Chris, and this is called Downwell. Now, I did see this game on the eShop before, I just never picked it up because of the art direction. But it's a fantastic game, actually. He recommended that I check it out. And this game is a, what would you say it is? A shooting platformer. Now, it kind of reminds me of elements of Cave Story / Spelunky / Metroid. So if you played any of those games or all three, then you'll know what you're kind of getting into. It's a fantastic game. You play as this guy named Weltaro. He is his local park one day, and he decides to go down the well where he knows there's monsters in and look for treasure. So before he does it, he straps on his gun boots and jumps right in. So as he goes down this well, there's a bunch of different enemies, as you can see, and you collect those little red gems. Those are your currency, because every once in a while you run into a store where you can buy one of 3 items each time the shopkeeper sells. And what makes this game interesting is it's kind of roguelike. So things do move around and things change. And it's quite a challenging game. It kind of makes you want to keep going down farther and farther, such as Spelunky did, if you ever played Spelunky, where you're kind of just exploring the caves. So similar style, where it's in a lot of exploration, trying to get farther and farther down the well and collect treasure and collect money along the way and power-ups to help you survive longer. Now, there are rooms every once in a while you run into off to the left or right, and they have one power-up, or sometimes they have a shopkeeper. And when you step inside of them, time stops. So those are like little time bubbles. Time will stop while you go inside of them. And we are about to go down to the next level here. So I just had to kill that bat first. Now, as you see, you just break the bricks, jump down, and at the end of each level, you get to choose one of 3 items. So it randomizes. So we either got rocket jump, longer state of invincibility when taking damage from the candle, and the hearts are power-ups. I'll take the create a time bubble, a time void when damaged, so for a few seconds. So that is always very helpful. The time voids kind of gives you a chance to catch your breath, such as you've seen when I got through that door down there. So it's a fantastic game. Definitely. See, there's the time bubble. That's my power up that I picked. So I can stop time for any time that I step in it. And as you can see, it freezes time, and I can kind of plan my next strategy. So Downwell is very interesting. Like I said, the gameplay the graphics are, they are what they are. It's not about the graphics, it's about the gameplay, and that's what it is. A whole lot of fun. Very simplistic graphics, but everything works for the type of game it is, and it is fun. Now this game is on the PlayStation 4, PlayStation Vita. The Switch, of course, is the version I'm playing. iOS, Android, and PC, I believe. So that's all the systems it's on. But definitely, it's a great game, and I bought it for $2. Maybe just a little bit shy of $2. So fantastic, can't beat the price, especially for the gameplay. And it's a game that you can play over and over and try to get a little farther each time. And you get better as you go. At first I kept dying, couldn't even get down to the first level of the well, and finally got to the third level. Anyways, that is it for this episode. I hope you liked it. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and as always, have a good one. Take care, everybody. Until next time, have a good one.